We will see today lymphatic drainage of different areas of the body. So first we will see the lower limb lymphatic drainage. Now the lymph nodes are arranged in two groups: superficial group of lymph nodes and deep group of lymph nodes. This can be seen in all the parts of the body that there are two groups, superficial and deep groups. The superficial group in the lower limb can be divided into two groups: upper group and lower group. Upper group are seen below the inguinal ligament. Inguinal ligament is a ligament that is connecting the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. It's a ligament. So below the inguinal ligament, upper group can be seen. Lower group is seen around terminal part of great saphenous vein. Great saphenous vein is this one. So along this area, along the vein, there are lower group of veins. Now they receive lymph from lower part of the abdominal wall. This area is the lower part of the anterior abdominal wall. Perineum. Perineum is the area between the thigh. Lower limb, almost all of the lower limb, with the exception of region that is drained by popliteal lymph nodes. Popliteal lymph nodes are group of lymph nodes which are seen in the popliteal fossa. So accepting that, all the lower limb is drained by these group of lymph nodes which are placed in the superficial fascia called superficial lymph nodes. So here the superficial group of lymph nodes can be divided into two parts or two group. Upper part, which is located just below the inguinal ligament. This is the inguinal ligament. Then lower group is located near the terminal part of great saphenous vein. Great saphenous vein terminates into femoral vein. So this area, there are some lymph nodes. Now these group of lymph nodes receive lymph from lower part of the anterior abdominal wall, perineum, and also the lower limb, with the exception of the region which is drained by popliteal lymph nodes. So popliteal lymph nodes are the lymph nodes which drain small area of the lower limb. So let's see about popliteal lymph nodes, which are located in the popliteal fossa, embedded in the fatty connective tissue of popliteal fossa. So they are located within the popliteal fossa pad of fat. Behind the knee joint, there is a fossa area, that is popliteal fossa, and it receives superficial lymphatic vessels from posterolateral part of the calf, posterior and lateral part of the leg, and deep lymphatic vessels accompanying anterior and posterior tibial arteries. There are some deep lymphatics which are seen along with anterior and posterior tibial artery, which are placed deeper. Those lymphatics also drains into popliteal group of lymph nodes. And the efferents from this lymph node pass to deep inguinal lymph nodes. So from here, the efferents, they go to deep inguinal lymph nodes. We will see about the deep inguinal lymph nodes in the coming classes or coming slide. So popliteal group of lymph nodes are the group of lymph nodes which are located in the popliteal fossa, which is seen behind the knee, and they receive superficial lymphatic vessels from the posterior and lateral aspect of the leg, also from the deep lymphatics vessels which are accompanying anterior and posterior tibial arteries, which are placed deeper. Efferents from the popliteal lymph nodes that goes to deep inguinal lymph nodes. So this is the location of deep inguinal lymph nodes. Can be seen in this area, deep inguinal lymph nodes. So they are usually 3 or 4 in number, whereas superficial lymph nodes are many. Deep inguinal lymph nodes are less in number, and they lie medial to femoral vein. So this vein is the femoral vein. Medial to that, there are lymph nodes, and few of them, one being in the femoral canal. So deep to, or you can say medial to the femoral vein, there is a canal called the femoral canal. There are some lymph nodes which are included in deep inguinal lymph nodes. Now drainage area, deep lymphatics that accompany the femoral vessels from the popliteal fossa. So the lymphatic channels that are starting from the popliteal lymph node, which are the efferent lymphatics from the popliteal lymph node. They drain into deep inguinal lymph nodes. Also an area called glans penis, which is the tip of the penis. Enlarged part of the penis is called glans penis. And clitoris is homologous to penis in females. So efferent lymphatics from the superficial inguinal nodes that passes through cribriform fascia. Some of the lymphatics from the superficial group of lymph nodes, which you already be seen, those lymphatics also drain into deep inguinal lymph nodes. We can see here the deep inguinal lymph nodes located in this area. From the superficial inguinal lymph nodes, the lymphatics channels connect to deep inguinal lymph nodes. Now from here, it goes to external iliac group of lymph nodes, which are located still further on the upper aspect. Efferents from the deep inguinal lymph nodes pass through the femoral canal. They pass through the femoral canal, which is located medial to the femoral vein, is a canal, and it enters external iliac group of lymph nodes. So the location of the deep inguinal lymph nodes are medial to the femoral vein, and one is located in the femoral canal. And the drainage area is the lymphatics that is accompanying the femoral vessels, which are draining the lymphatics from the popliteal lymph nodes, glans penis in males, clitoris in females, and also efferents from the superficial inguinal lymph nodes that reaches the deep inguinal lymph nodes. These are the different area of drainage. Whereas efferents from the deep inguinal lymph nodes that goes into external iliac lymph nodes. We can see here the superficial inguinal lymph nodes, which are located superficially. Efferents from here drains into deep inguinal lymph nodes. Now let's see the lymphatics of upper limb. Here the lymph nodes are mainly located in the axilla, called axillary group of lymph nodes. There are, of course, additional group of lymph nodes. So those are the axillary group of lymph nodes. This area is the axilla. And additional lymph nodes are infraclavicular, located below the clavicle, deltopectoral, between the deltoid muscle and the pectoralis major muscle in this area. Superficial cubital, which is seen in the cubital region, supratrochlear lymph node. Few are seen along with brachial artery, which is an artery of the arm. Its bifurcation. Brachial artery divides in the forearm into radial and ulnar artery, which is not seen in the diagram. So along with these arteries, there are some lymph nodes which are located, or the lymphatics which are located. So the main lymphatic or the lymph node in the upper limb are the axillary group of lymph nodes, which are again subdivided into different subgroups. The other lymph nodes which are seen in this area are infraclavicular, deltopectoral, superficial cubital, and few along the brachial artery and its bifurcation. Now these are the axillary group of lymph nodes. They are found in the fibrofatty connective tissue of the axilla. Axilla contains a lot of fat. Axilla is the armpit, and they are arranged in 5 principal groups. They are knots of anterior or pectoral group. So some are seen on the anterior aspect along with pectoral muscles called pectoral group. Some are seen on the posterior aspect called scapular group or posterior group. So let's see the anterior group here, posterior group. Nodes of lateral group. Some are seen on the lateral aspect of the axilla, that is towards the axillary vein, this area. Central group, which is placed at the center of the axilla. And few of the lymph nodes which are placed still above, called apical group of lymph nodes, or the infraclavicular group of lymph nodes, since they are present just below the clavicle. So these are different group of lymph nodes in the axilla. They are anterior, posterior, lateral, central, apical group of lymph nodes. Now the axillary group of lymph nodes that drains mainly the upper limb. In addition to upper limb, it also drains mammary gland, breast, and also the trunk above the umbilicus. The part of the trunk above the umbilicus also drained by the axillary group of lymph nodes. So upper limb, breast, and trunk above the umbilicus. These are the areas drained by axillary group of lymph nodes. There are group of lymph nodes seen along the axilla. There are lateral group of lymph nodes seen on the lateral wall of the axilla, along with axillary vein. Now these are the location and area drained by the different axillary group of lymph nodes. Now they are lying. We have in this slide we are seeing anterior, posterior, and lateral group of lymph nodes. Where it is located, what are the afferents of this? Anterior group of lymph nodes lie along lateral thoracic vein, which is not seen in the diagram. So I'm not showing it. And they are lying along pectoralis minor muscle, the lower border of pectoralis minor muscle. This is pectoralis minor muscle. On the lower border of it, there are some lymph nodes. And the afferents, the lymphatic channels that are coming to the anterior group of lymph nodes are the anterior trunk, mainly from the breast. Posterior group of lymph nodes are seen along with subscapular vessels. These are the subscapular vein. Along with that, posterior group of lymph nodes can be seen. And also a muscle related to here is subscapularis. And the afferents which are draining to it are called posterior trunk. These are the lymphatic channels that is connected to the posterior group of lymph nodes. And they drain the area up to the iliac crest. And also it drains axillary tail of breast. Axillary tail of breast is a continuation of the breast into the axilla. Now, the lateral group are lying along with axillary vein, which can be seen in this picture. I hope it's there. Yeah, here, lateral axillary group, and they drain mainly the upper limb. So these are the different group of lymph nodes: anterior, posterior, lateral. An axillary group of lymph nodes, another few groups are central, apical, or infraclavicular. Central group of lymph nodes are seen in the axilla, upper part of the axilla, which can be seen here. And the afferents are coming from other lymph nodes. The other group of lymph nodes, the lymphatics from here that reaches the central group of lymph nodes. And the efferents from it that goes to apical group of lymph nodes. Whereas apical or infraclavicular lymph nodes located along the axillary vein near the apex of the axilla, deep to a fascia, clavipectoral fascia, which is covering the pectoralis minor muscle. And afferents are reaching from breast, upper part, and the remaining parts of the nodes. We can see all the lymph nodes. The lymphatics are connected to the central from here to the apical. So, in other words, apical group of lymph nodes receives all the lymph from the other group of lymph nodes. And the efferents of it that drains into thoracic duct on the left side, thoracic duct. On the right side, it drains to right subclavian lymphatic trunk. So these are the axillary group of lymph nodes, different group of it, and how it is seen. What are the afferents and efferents? Additional group of lymph nodes as infraclavicular, which are lying along the clavipectoral fascia, along the cephalic vein, deep to clavipectoral fascia, in fact, drains the upper part of the breast. Also the thumb, that is the area between thumb and index, the web region. Deltopectoral lymph nodes, which are lying along the deltopectoral groove. again seen along the cephalic vein in the superficial aspect, draining infraclavicular lymph nodes, which are actually displaced lymph nodes. Superficial cubital, which is seen in the cubital fossa, lying along the basilic vein, which is the medial vein of the forearm, just above the medial epicondyle, and it drains ulnar side of hand and the forearm. Let's see the lymphatics of the abdomen. So this is a diagram showing the abdominal aorta lying on the lumbar vertebra. Some of the branches of the aorta can be seen: celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery. We have studied all those things, all these arteries, the previous classes. The lymphatic drainage of the abdominal viscera occurs almost exclusively through the cisterna chyli and thoracic duct. So most of the lymphatics from the abdomen that directly drains into the thoracic duct. This is the thoracic duct beginning, and this is cisterna chyli. Cisterna chyli continues as thoracic duct. Cisterna chyli is a sac, lymphatic sac. Lymph nodes of the retroperitoneum lie along the abdominal aorta and form pre-aortic, lateral aortic, and retro-aortic group of lymph nodes. So the lymph nodes, which can be seen behind the peritoneum. Peritoneum is a serous membrane covering the abdominal organs and pelvic organs. So they lie along the abdominal aorta. So the abdominal aorta is lying posteriorly. So here, so posteriorly in the sense it's behind the peritoneum. So here, these retroperitoneal lymph nodes can be divided into some groups, which are pre-aortic, lateral aortic, and retro-aortic groups. Pre-aortic, they are seen in front of the aorta. Lateral aortic group of lymph nodes, they are seen on either side of the aorta. And retro-aortic group of lymph nodes, they are seen behind the aorta. So collectively, all of them together called as para-aortic lymph nodes. Para means near. So nearby the aorta, there are group of lymph nodes which can be divided into pre, lateral, and retro-aortic group of lymph nodes. Let's see the pre-aortic lymph nodes. They are seen in front of the aorta. They are 3 in number, or 3 groups are there. Celiac group lying along the celiac trunk, superior mesenteric lying along the superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric lying along the inferior mesenteric artery. The afferents from the organs supplied by ventral branches of aorta. Now, the lymphatics to this lymph node are coming from different abdominal organs. Efferents from this lymph node drains or goes or forms the intestinal trunk. Intestinal trunk is the lymphatic channel that is starting from these lymph nodes, and it is connected to the cisterna chyli. In this diagram, you cannot see this trunk, but let's imagine that there are intestinal trunk originating from this lymph node draining into cisterna chyli. Lateral aortic group, they are situated on either side of the aorta. Afferents received includes, so afferents are coming from the organs which are located on either side of the aorta. They are suprarenal gland, kidneys, uterus, testis or ovary, and from posterior abdominal wall. So these areas, lymphatics reaches the lateral group of lymph nodes. And efferents from this lateral group of lymph nodes, that forms the lumbar trunk, which is a lymphatic channel, and that also drains into cisterna chyli. The cisterna chyli is a lymphatic sac, it's a dilated lymphatic sac, which is seen in the abdomen. The cisterna chyli can be seen. And it is 5 to 7 centimeter long. So it is having a length of 5 centimeter to 7 centimeter. And location is in front of lumbar vertebra, upper lumbar vertebra. So lumbar vertebra 1 and 2. And it receives lymph from different areas like we already said now, abdominopelvic organs, abdominal wall, and lower extremities. So it receives large lymph from large area. So 60% of the absorbed fat also reaches in this area, because we have seen the lacteals which are seen in the small intestine, they are the lymphatic channels. Fat is absorbed into the lacteals from the small gut, and it reaches into the cisterna chyli through the intestinal trunk. Intestinal trunk is a lymphatic channel that is connected to the cisterna chyli and continues above as thoracic duct. Cisterna chyli continuing as thoracic duct through the aortic opening. The cisterna chyli continues as thoracic duct. Thoracic duct moves from abdomen to the thorax through an opening in the diaphragm, and that opening is for aortic or aorta. This is the aortic aorta. Thoracic aorta passes through the diaphragm and reaches the abdomen as abdominal aorta. So through that gap, the thoracic duct also passes. You can see that the thoracic duct and the aorta are very close with each other. They pass through same foramen or opening in the diaphragm. Let's see the lymphatics of the thoracic region. Parasternal group of lymph nodes, intercostal lymph nodes, tracheobronchial lymph nodes, posterior mediastinal lymph nodes, brachiocephalic lymph nodes. So these are the different group of lymph nodes seen in the thoracic region. So it is named according to the position where it is. Thoracic duct is elongated lymphatic vessel which is starting from the cisterna chyli, which conveys cisterna chyli and most of the lymph from the body into the bloodstream. The thoracic duct starts from the cisterna chyli and ultimately drains into the veins. It is lengthy, around 45 centimeter. Thoracic duct drains lymphatics from whole body. So most of the body, the lymph that reaches the thoracic duct, excepting right side of the head and neck region, right upper limb, right lung and right thoracic wall, right half of the heart, and convex surface of the liver. Excepting these areas, the lymph from the body, whole body, reaches thoracic duct. So it conveys a lot of lymph. And it is extending from upper end of the cisterna chyli at the level of 12th thoracic vertebra. So this is the beginning point of the thoracic duct from the cisterna chyli. It enters the thorax by passing through the aortic opening of the diaphragm. I said already that diaphragm is pierced by an opening called aortic opening, through which aorta descends down. So that's the same opening in which the thoracic duct is also seen. Now opens into the venous circulation at the junction of left subclavian and left subclavian and left internal jugular vein. This is left internal jugular vein and this is left subclavian vein. So at the junction of these two veins, the thoracic duct opens into the venous system. Initially, it's seen on the right side of the midline when it is beginning, but at the level of T5, that is thoracic vertebra 5, it crosses to the left side. So initially seen on the right, then it crosses to the left. The tributaries of thoracic duct are, or the area from which the area that is drained into the thoracic duct are the lower intercostal space, mediastinal area. Mediastinum is the area between the two lungs. Lower intercostal space are the spaces. Intercostal space are the space between the ribs. So on the lower intercostal spaces are draining into thoracic duct. liver, left side of head and neck region. So most of the body area are draining into the thoracic duct, left side of the upper limb, left lung. So all this area are draining into the thoracic duct. So it's a large lymphatic duct, largest lymphatic duct of the body, beginning at the 12th thoracic vertebra from the upper end of cisterna chyli, or you can say cisterna chyli is continuing as thoracic duct. It passes through the diaphragm with the abdominal aorta, and it drains into the venous circulation between the junction of internal jugular vein and left internal jugular vein and left subclavian vein. Initially it is seen on the right side, but slowly it moves to the left side at the level of thoracic vertebra 5. Tributaries and the area drained by it are lower intercostal spaces, mediastinum, liver, left side of the head and neck region, left side of upper limb, left lung, also the left lower limb. All these areas are drained into, left and right lower limb, all this area, and some part of the trunk, they are also draining into thoracic duct.